que Dios me regaló un don, que me eligió a mí, y yo de muy chiquito fui así, lo tuve, pero después en el camino hice mucho sacrificio.
Sunday at MetLife Stadium, Lionel Messi will play what is, in all likelihood, the last match of his life in a World Cup. Argentina against Spain, the World Cup final. But before we talk about Sunday, let's go back 3.5 years. The World Cup final in Qatar, 2022. Argentina and France are level, it's going to penalties. And in the most tense moment of all, as Gonzalo Montiel prepares to strike the kick that could decide everything, the cameras find Messi. He isn't looking at the ball. He's looking at the sky. And his lips are moving. 5 words, whispered to someone who isn't in the stadium. That night, almost no one understood what he said. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what those words were, and why they explain everything there is to know about this man. Because Messi once said something that left everyone speechless. God chose me. And if you think he's the only one, on Sunday, turning to something greater than himself, wait until you see what happens on the other bench. Let's start with him. In June of 2024, in a long interview with journalist Juan Pablo Varsky, Messi did something rare. He began to speak openly about his faith. And he said, with the calm of a man who isn't looking for applause, "I'm very clear that I was born this way because God chose me." Not a line from a script. The way a man tries to explain the unexplainable. How it's possible that a boy from Rosario, too small even to play in his own age group, became the one the whole world considers the greatest of all time. But Messi has never hidden behind the gift. Around the same time, he added, "Along the way, I made a lot of sacrifices, a lot of hard work to strengthen that gift I had. The gift is the spark. The work builds everything else, and faith for him lies beneath them both." These aren't isolated words. His faith is etched literally into his skin. On his right shoulder, the face of Christ. Along his arm, the beads of the rosary. And near his elbow, the rose window of the Sagrada Familia in Barcelona, Gaudi's Basilica. Many times after a goal, he makes the sign of the cross and lifts his eyes to the sky. And in December 2022, right after winning the World Cup, when he was asked whether that triumph made him greater than Maradona, he didn't take the bait. He answered only, "The truth is that I thank God for giving me everything." And here we come to a detail few people truly know. That gesture, the gaze at the sky, the 2 fingers pointed upward, isn't generic. Messi dedicates it to one specific person, his grandmother, Celia. It was she, when Leo was little more than a child, who dragged him to the neighborhood club Grandoli. A player was missing, but Leo was too small. The coach shook his head. "How can I let him play? Look how small he is, it's madness, he'll get hurt." But Celia wouldn't give up. She kept repeating, let him play," until they gave in. That day, the boy scored 2 goals, and he began to change the history of football. Celia died in 1998 when Leo was only 11 years old. She never saw how far her grandson would go. And so, every time, he lifts his eyes to the sky to let her see. "She took me to football," he once said, "but now she can't see how far I've come, and yet she still helps me and my family." Now let's cross the field. On the other side, there's Spain, and there's its coach, Luis de la Fuente. Anyone who watches him on the bench has seen him make the very same gesture as Messi, the sign of the cross a moment before kickoff. A couple of years ago, he was asked, live on air, whether it was superstition. His answer was disarmingly simple. "I have faith." Not superstition, he explained, but faith. And he isn't a man who inherited his religion out of habit. Though he grew up in a believing family, he has said he embraced the faith as an adult, freely and consciously. On the eve of this World Cup, before the semi-final against France, he returned to the point with words worth hearing twice. "I pray every day, but not because I'm at a World Cup, or because I want to get a result. He prays to give thanks, he said, not to ask to win. He is devoted to the Christ of the expiration, the one they affectionately call El Cachorro in Seville, and to Our Lady of the Vega, patron saint of Haro, his hometown. And he once confessed something that, for a coach on the eve of the most important match of his career, sounds almost scandalous. Without believing in God, life for him would have no meaning at all. And then there are those who carry their faith with them, physically, onto the field of play. Ferran Torres, one of the forwards of that same Spain, a practicing Catholic, takes the field keeping a cross and an image of the Virgin Mary close to him, not to guarantee himself a goal. For the same reason so many, before a hard day, slip a rosary into their pocket or wear a small medal under their shirt. Because some things you don't leave in the locker room. Let's pause for a moment on what we'll really be seeing on Sunday. On one side, the Argentine captain making the sign of the cross and lifting his eyes to the sky. On the other, the Spanish coach crossing himself in the very same way, and on the pitch, a player carrying the Virgin Mary with him. Two nations contending for the most coveted trophy on the planet, and the same faith, silent, on both sides. But notice one thing, because it's the most important of all. None of these men has ever said that God is cheering for his team. De La Fuente has repeated it. He doesn't pray for a result. Messi gives thanks, whatever happens. Theirs is not a good luck faith. It's not superstition. It's something far more solid. A strength to hold on to when the eyes of half the world are fixed on you, and the pressure alone would crush you. There's even a thread that ties tomorrow's two protagonists together. Years ago, a photograph went around. A very young Messi holding a newborn named Lamine Yamal in his arms. That baby has grown up now, and on Sunday he'll take the field in a Spain shirt against his lifelong idol. The circle closes right here, in this final. And now let's return to where we began. To those 5 words, whispered to the sky in the 2022 final, an instant before the decisive penalty. The cameras captured them, and those who read his lips recognized them. Messi looked up and said, "Puede ser hoy, Abu." It could be today, Grandma. He was speaking to Celia. He was telling her that maybe, after a whole lifetime of dreams brushed and never grasped, this was finally the day. And it was. On Sunday, in all likelihood for the last time on this stage, Lionel Messi will lift his eyes once more. Whether he raises the cup or watches others raise it, he'll do it with the same gesture as always. The same gesture as his opposing coach, the same gesture as millions of people who, all over the world, faced with a trial greater than themselves, can find nothing better than to turn their eyes toward the one above. Not superstition. Faith. Because in the end, that's what this final, without meaning to, reminds us. Faith doesn't fear the spotlight. It finds its place even on the greatest stage on the planet. Let's pray together by writing, "Jesus, I trust in you." And may God bless us all.